Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about the top 5 worst mistakes that you could possibly make with cryptocurrency. So sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I do just want to ask guys to please leave a like on this video. It does help the channel grow immensely, and of course I always do greatly appreciate that. So we are going to be starting off with number 1, buying high, selling low. Now this is a mistake that I'm sure everyone has made in the past. In fact, I have even made this in the past as well, especially during like 2017's peak in terms of a lot of altcoins. Everyone thought that we were going much higher. I remember specifically a lot of people saying that things are, looking like it's going to ramp up and we're going to this, dollar figure amount on some sort of altcoins. XRP was one. XRP had a lot of hype behind it. During that time, I was actually investing into Ethereum and also Litecoin. Believe it or not, Litecoin is actually the one that I did buy high and sold low, and we're actually going to be talking about it. Now, it wasn't a significant amount of money at that time because I was still fairly young. I have been around crypto for a while, since going back as far as like 2014 when my friend first introduced me to crypto. But I didn't really invest much until around like 2017, which Litecoin was one that had a lot of hype around it during that time. Litecoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin, XRP, like a few of the tokens that we see still, today, were like the main players. Of course, Bitcoin has always been the main star, but Litecoin during 2017 was a very big hype show. And during this time, I wasn't investing a massive amount. Like, it wasn't like I was throwing $1,000 in every single day or anything like that. But I did invest, a little bit at this time. Now, I really invested into Litecoin. It was like around like the August time frame. Now, I was kind of buying during this time. Now, note that we didn't really drop too much from these figures in terms of the bear market, but I did end up selling at around this time over here at a loss. I know that I was in significant profit. This has taught me lessons, by the way. I'm going to be addressing that too. Honestly, I don't know what was wrong with me, because even at the, heights of these candles, I don't know what my specific buys were. It was honestly so long ago now, and it wasn't even on the Coinbase account that I'm utilizing now, but it was on Coinbase. In terms of the percentage fractals that we increased to, it was like over almost 400% of an increase in price from these targets. But again, I had very high expectations in terms of how high Litecoin could go. It was being compared to a lot of tokens at the time. It was actually being compared to Bitcoin as well. People thought that this was the next Bitcoin, if you will. But honestly, I should have sold, should have taken profit. Didn't end up actually selling at a loss. I would say it was like around the October of 2018, because it was like almost over a year of holding, and I just thought, hey, we're going nowhere. This is just probably going to go to zero. So I sold at like roughly almost like a 40+% loss. Honestly, if I would have held on to this longer, as you guys do see, I was in significant profit at around this time as well. But I didn't look back. I cut my losses. Taught myself a valid lesson that taking profits is always crucial. If you guys don't know me, I basically do a 10x rule. If anything 10x's, which I know that might seem unrealistic, but ultimately a 10x is something that really does happen a lot in this market. Anything at around 10x, I instantly take profit. But at a 5x or so, it also does make sense to take profits. So if anything is like a 5 to 10x opportunity, there's no reason not to take profit. But Litecoin did teach me a lesson to always look at the overall picture and be like, all right, well, hey, I made money, so why not just take profit and look at a different opportunity? I think that swing trading in this market is something that's crucial. I think that it's overlooked massively. You don't only have to HODL in order to become a millionaire. You could swing trade from $500 to $300,000, right? I mean, I've seen people start with $500. I've seen people start with $50. I mean, you can make money in this game fairly quick as long as you are kind of playing it smart and taking profits. Taking profits is key. Now, talking about taking profits, don't be too, hard on yourself if you sold too early. Polygon or Matic was actually one that I sold a little bit too early. I'm going to completely be honest with you guys. This was one that I was invested in very early in 2021, actually. It was actually around like 2020 into 2021 where I was, really buying this. Also, even the graph was one that I sold way too early. But in terms of Matic, I was invested into this at around like this time here. It was at a very early stage. Now, again, like I said, take profit out of 10x. I was invested under around 4 cents. During this time right here, I took some profit, and I felt good about it. It's whatever. It was a 10x opportunity. But as you guys do see, this started to really break out, and we went to some nice highs. Now, during this time here, I was still hodling. I was still holding. And it was like around this time here during May is when I sold. It was at about $1.71. I sold a lot. I actually think I sold my full stack, I'm pretty sure. I would have to look at my Binance orders. But, this followed by a major price spike to almost $3. Which, by the way, was a 100x opportunity from those buys. But, hey, it is what it is. I still took my profit. What ended up happening, though, and this is what I mean, like, right, I could have rode this out for another additional, I mean, it wasn't probably at the exact top here, but I'm just kind of going off the top of that candle. I could have sold for an additional 70% profit, but I missed out on it. The funny thing is that even if I sold, like, a little bit, I think it was, like, at $1.60 or so, something like that. But even at this point, right, off of those lows, it was down about 60%. So even going back to this, did I miss out on some profit? Yeah, 100%. But I could have reinvested everything that I sold and bought the dip. And at the end of the day, check out this dip to our recent high, going back to like around December. This was up an additional 383%. So if I would have reinvested, which I didn't, but hey, it is what it is, a missed opportunity, missed chance. I invested into some other altcoins, but this was a significant profit point. But this was, again, did this teach me a lesson? 100%. Always learn lessons from mistakes that you make in this market because it does make you a better trader at the end of the day. Excuse me. The lesson here is I sold, I took profit, I made money. Okay, could I have made more? Yeah, 100%. But it's not all about, hey, capitalize on the exact top. You are never going to sell the exact top. You are never going to buy the exact bottom. So overall, when we look at this, I took profit. I made money. I was able to reinvest into other altcoins on the lows during that summertime, which was a beautiful thing. And I made a lot more money during, again, November. So when we look at this, it's the idea on don't marry your bag. Listen, if you could have made a lot more money off of something, don't dwell on it. There's a lot more money to be made in this market. There's a ton of other opportunities. No matter what no matter what price you sell at, if it goes higher, guess what? You already made money. You took your profit. You're in the good. Cheer yourself on. Now, the next one that I really want to talk to you guys about is unrealistic expectations. I see this happening a lot with a lot of tokens. Specifically, everyone kind of compares things to Dogecoin a lot. And I see this with Shiba, right? So Shiba Inu is already at number 15 in this market. It is sitting at currently a $13.4 billion market cap. Okay? There is 500 and almost 50 billion of this in circulating supply. Now, I want you guys to understand that, I'm not saying that this is, something that you should avoid fully. I mean, to me, I just don't like to touch coins like this. But let's talk about this. Unrealistic expectations. So I know that I am one to pull out a calculator and say, what would my stack be worth at this price? It's something that is a common occurrence in this market. Kind of just seeing where, your wallet would be if we hit a certain amount. I've seen a lot of people do this with other tokens. It's almost like a pattern that a lot of people do. It's just something that, it's something in crypto that everyone probably have done once in their lifetime. And Shiba is probably one of those that everyone has been doing it for a while now. And the price target that does come up a lot is 1 cent. Does Shiba hit 1 cent this year? Everyone's saying, Shiba Inu coin will become like pure gold. This coin will hold for the future. I mean, everyone is really kind of talking about this. I mean, we even seen this, Shiba can go to 1 cent any day with Robinhood. And this is coming from an account saying Shiba Inu to $1. Just so you guys know, even if we hit 1 cent, all right, so sorry, 1 cent, we'd be at about a $5.5 trillion market cap. Okay? If we went to $1, look at the market cap of Shiba Inu. This is a problem, okay? It's unrealistic expectations. All right, and this is not the only account. I mean, we've seen, get in loser, Shiba is going to 1 cent. I'm starting tired to hold, Shiba, no progress at all. I hope so. Guys, you don't need one coin to get you rich, and it's not going to be a meme coin that gets you, astronomically rich. There's money to be made in memes. I'm just saying, like, when we look at things like this, Shiba Inu, is it going to 1 cent anytime soon? Absolutely not. We even see here, Shiba Inu, Shiba investors, see 1 cent in the rear view mirror. Here's why. Shiba Inu investors strongly believe that the token will eventually cross the 1 cent milestone sooner or later. And, will this hit 1 cent in the future? It's hard to say. I mean, with regulations coming into this space, a lot of these, meme tokens will most likely cease to exist. But will this eventually get to this point if we do see meme tokens still being, in this market when regulations do come? It's hard to say. I mean, it all depends on how many, retail investors move in on Shiba. It also demands a major, buy point. What is going to be the buy point behind Shiba Inu? Is it going to be a Robinhood listing, which we already seen, by the way? Or is it going to be some sort of other major news that really kind of sparks FOMO? It's hard to say, but this hitting a $5.5 trillion market cap is something that I wouldn't really kind of bet on. More so, there's other tokens in the space that are very low in value that you could capitalize on, that could possibly make you this much money very, very soon. And when I say very, very soon, I mean like it could happen here shortly. I've watched tokens like, for example, Chrome, right? Chromatica, sitting at about almost $14 million market cap, not even listed on any markets. This is something that, could possibly make you a ton of money, because if you look at things, right, say for so if I wanted to compare Chromatica just to like a $3.9 billion market cap, this is 278x. Or how about we compare it to Shiba Inu's current market cap? This would be a 960x opportunity. It's a very similar structure, except it's something that is more logical, because this would be only at a $13.4 billion market cap. We look at Shiba Inu, right? And we look at this at 1 cent, and this is at a $5.5 trillion market cap. Unrealistic expectations. A lot of these price targets will not be hit. And now I do want to talk to you guys about the next one, which is number 4. Always have an exit plan. Do not listen to what other people tell you. If you are going to sell at this price and you announce it, maybe you say it on, Twitter or something, say, hey, I'm going to be selling this at $2.50, which, by the way, never do that. Never tell anybody where you're going to be exiting on Twitter and stuff like that, because people could easily just, front run you, or they could possibly even just tell you the wrong thing at the wrong time. Meaning, for example, with XRP, for an example, right? So here's one where I already have an exit plan for this. I actually released this on my website, NCashOfficial.com. It's an in-depth, view on my exit plan. But we look on this, and I could be like, hey, I'm going to be selling XRP at $5.70, for an example, right? People are going to comment on it saying, why would you sell at $5.70 when you know this is going to $10? Why would you sell this at $5.70 when you know it's going to go much higher? Or, hey, $5.70 is never going to be seen. It's going to top out at this. It kind of gives you that, emotional stress burden where you're kind of thinking to yourself, well, oh, they might be right. Maybe this is going to go higher. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not going to go to this price. It kind of makes you second guess yourself, kind of builds that uncertainty behind your exit plan, and ultimately it will make you be an emotional trader and change your targets at the last minute. Do not do that. Have an exit plan, stick to it. If it's a realistic price target, then it's going to be targeted at some point in time. It's not going to be like this, where you're kind of betting on 1 cent for Shiba Inu at a $5.5 trillion market cap. you never know when this is going to happen, okay? But if I was saying, hey, I'm going to be selling XRP at maybe $5.70, well, that's something that could happen quickly because we know that the recent all-time high going back to 2017, 2018 was about $3 and almost 60 cents, $3.84 on some exchanges. So having a solid exit plan is always key to success. Anyone can go and invest their money at any point in time, right? For example, I could go pick an asset out of the top 100 and just throw my money in. It's much easier to have an entry plan than have an exit plan because you can invest into anything. Like, for example, I can go on the 24-hour span and I could go look at what's down. So, for example, like EOS is down 9%, right? I could just throw my money in this. But where am I going to take my profits at? Am I going to take my profits at a 5x, 10x, whatever it is? Or am I going to go on Twitter, look at EOS, and see people saying EOS to $100, EOS to $300, and am I going to wait until those targets are met, aka most likely be hodling for years to come until those targets do get met? That's the issue. Have a realistic plan, have an exit plan ahead of the time before you even do invest your money, because at the end of the day, you do not want to be hodling for 4 or 5, 6 years, right? Because some of these tokens like XRP hasn't had an all-time high in over 4 years, and this is the issue, right? You don't want to buy at around the topping point and wait forever until things do happen. And that leads me to my fifth and last one, and that is blindly investing. So as we look at the 24-hour span, right? And this also kind of goes into the idea on FOMO, right? You could always FOMO into things. You never want to FOMO into anything that is up, a nice percentage. For example, like, would I be buying 0x here at a 33% increase on the 24-hour span? No, I wouldn't. But this also goes into the idea on, like, you don't just want to buy anything just because it's down possibly, right? I could find any token and I could blindly invest my money into something. And this goes for anything in this market. You'd never want to just blindly invest without knowing a token's, overall fundamentals. Like, for example, here's Steppen, right? Steppen's been up 44% on the 7-day span. Some things that kind of warn me not to invest my money into this token is that only 10% of the circulating supply is out there. I don't know the wallets that are holding this. Like, there's no holders tab to really kind of show me the tokenomics for this right now. But just in general, right, this is up. Currently it's down about 5.92%. But would I be investing my money here? Absolutely not. The most amount of money was made back in, again, March, where you could have invested at 11 cents and you could have made massive amounts of money. But somebody on Twitter could be saying, hey, Steppen's going to, this market cap. It's going to this dollar figure amount. Get in now before it's too late. Similar to the Shiba stuff, right? Get in, loser. Shiba is going to 1 cent. And you just kind of, look at it real quick and you're like, well, at 1 cent, this is a 408x. You don't even care about the market cap. You don't care about anything else. You just see the 408x and you're like, well, I'm just going to throw my money in right now. Do not blindly invest, because what you see in this market in terms of any sort of altcoin, there's a lot more to the picture than just percentage gains, dollar figure gains. There's so much more to really look at. There's, the tokenomics to look at, the use case value, the fundamentals, things that are going to provide value for the token itself. You do not just want to blindly invest into anything, because that is not how you become successful in this market. And also, being an early investor into tokens is the key to success. Typically, I always say, and I mean, this is why I don't mind my channel not being massively successful in terms of like having 100K plus subscribers, because I still have the ability to look at gems, find gems, and really kind of tell you guys about that before they do go off. For the most part, there's a lot of YouTubers that will talk about tokens that have already went off, that have already done massive gains. I actually seen this happen with ADA. I remember ADA. Everyone was making videos at like $1 plus, saying this is like going to $100 plus. It's going to be the next big thing. And a lot of those individuals, it was like around this time here where you had the retail market kind of FOMOing in, and this, crashed greatly. I mean, even now, look at the price that it's at currently. Is this going to go up in value? It might, who knows, but I'm just saying, like, the most amount of gains were during 2020 when you could have got into this. Being an early investor is crucial to making a bunch of gains on a lot of assets. If you are going to FOMO in at the top and blindly invest your money because somebody tells you that a token's going here, going there, then you're not going to make it. And I know that seems rude to say, but it is the truth. So with that being said, there are my 5 worst mistakes that you can make in crypto. Of course, there's a lot more. I'm going to be doing a series where I talk about a lot of things like this. So if you guys did enjoy this video, definitely hit that subscribe button, turn notifications on to never miss a future update. Also hit that like button. And with that being said, guys, if you want more free content, you guys can go check me out on Twitter and also join the free Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.